Hello everyone, welcome. This is Leadership Wednesdays, an amazing time where we get to look at leadership, okay? Now the reason I look at leadership is because I am very passionate about it, but I also believe all things rise and fall on leadership. If you want to run a family effectively, then you've got to be a good leader. If you want to run an organization effectively, then you've got to be a good leader. If you want to run a home, a business effectively, then you have to be a good leader. Countries or nations rise and fall on leadership. Churches rise and fall on leadership. Universities, institutions of learning rise and fall on leadership. And even your own life rises and falls on leadership. But I want to talk about today very specifically about people who have different roles, people who actually are leading in different organizations. Let's say, for example, you have a company or you're employed and you have a leadership position that you're supposed to be taking care of people and you're supposed to be holding that organization. So I want to give you a few topics or a few pointers that can assist you in your leadership role. The reason I'm doing this is because in my leadership journey, I have learned that there are several things that leaders ought to do and other things that leaders ought not to do. So there is the do's and don'ts of being a leader or do's and don'ts of leadership. If you're leading in an organization and you're leading people and you have this company, this business, or this organization that you are in, then one of the lessons that you have to learn and learn very fast is to talk less and listen more. It is a lesson that I have learned the hard way in my leadership journey. And it is a lesson that I wish that every leader can learn and learn early. Talk less, listen more. People don't respect leaders who talk too much, but people respect leaders who listen. When you have a leader and all they do is yap and yap and yap about things, such that sometimes you don't even know whether this guy is a leader or he's a follower. As a leader, you've got to have the wisdom to know when to speak and what to say and when to shut up and listen. But most of the times, effective leaders and good leaders are those who are quiet and listening and observing. I have found that these kind of leaders who are usually quiet and listen and good listeners gain more respect or more credibility in the eyes of the people who are following them than leaders who are constantly speaking, constantly talking without really understanding the situations or the circumstances under which they are speaking into. I have been to forums, different forums, and sometimes I have seen people who are talking too much. And I have also seen people who are too quiet. But usually the ones who come out with a lot of respect or a lot of credibility are the ones who can balance between being quiet and talking. So talk less and listen more. The second point that I would like to bring out for you as a leader in an organization is that you have to understand each role in your organization. Understand that role. In other words, people will look at you and will have more respect for you if they feel that you have an understanding of the roles in the organization. In other words, people will never really listen to you if you do not show an understanding of the roles in the organization. Now, what I'm talking about is you have to have a deeper understanding beyond your role as a leader. You've got to understand each person's task, each person's role, and you have to be in a position to advise everyone who is under you on the roles that they are supposed to be playing. So leadership is critical The third thing that you have to do when you're leading in an organization is encourage growth. Now, people who do not have good leadership skills are usually threatened or feel threatened by upcoming leaders. But leaders who are gifted and leaders who are true leaders usually encourage the growth of those who are under them. In fact, they are willing to push them, to push these people to become better and to rise higher to higher levels. They are always constantly training people. The fourth thing that you've got to do, and these are lessons that I have learned also in life, if you're a leader of a team, the fourth lesson that you've got to do is you have to take care of your team. Never throw your team under the bus. Always stand by your team. Now, I know that this could be difficult, especially in the marketplace, because in the marketplace there are, you can be fired because of the failure of your team. But if you want to have and build a loyal base in your team, you've got to stand by them and take care of your team. I pray that these few lessons that I've shared today will transform your life and become a catalyst for you to become a better leader, a greater leader, because it's a desire that we have. Never forget that all things rise and fall on leadership. You are where you are as a team, as a group, as an organization because of your leadership. Thank you. God bless you.